Welcome along to the Record Club, brought to you by Record Store Day, the official charts and National Album Day, proudly in association with Bowes and Wilkins. My name is Jess Izzat. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to say that our guest this evening is Caity Baser to talk all about her new record, Still Learning. We're going to be spending the next half an hour or so talking to Caity all about the brilliant new record, which I've got here. And then we're going to be putting forward some of your questions about the album for her to answer. So if you want to get involved, drop us a question in the comments section below. I'm going to be asking a selection of them in the second half of our chat. And on top of that, one lucky person who sends in a question today is going to be randomly selected to win a pair of these Bowes and Wilkins PX7 Season 2 over-ear noise-cancelling headphones. The album sounds great in them. Obviously, wicked prize, so get your questions to us. If you haven't already got yourself a physical copy of the album, we thoroughly recommend you order one from your local record store once our chat with Caity is over. So let's get straight into this week's Record Club and say a big hello to Caity.
Hi.
How are we doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Okay, firstly, apologies. We normally have lots of albums on here, but this is strictly a mixtape. Am I right?
Yeah, it's mixtape.
Interchangeable usually, this time mixtape. Mixtape
Like
vibes.
the album's like second cousin, you know? It's like
Yeah. So am I right in thinking you're in an in-store now?
Yes, I am. I'm in an HMV like storeroom talking.
I was going to say,
because this is a bit alarming. The electric rock coaster, and we've also got the fire safety. Well, it's not really alarming. It's actually very, very valuable knowledge to know.
Informative.
But I must say I've never seen it before, and this is not personally mine. It's just because of my whereabouts. But yeah, that's where I am.
There's a first for everything. I mean, we haven't had this on the Record Club yet, so there we go. Each week on the Record Club, though, we like to kick things off with a question from one of the many amazing independent record stores that we have across the UK. This week's question is from Neil at the Vinyl Whistle in Leeds. I haven't been there. Have you been there?
No, I've not been there.
Okay, well, Neil's a fan. He says, on this mixtape, you sound full of confidence, but it's called Still Learning. What can we expect when the L plates come off?
I mean, one thing that I've learned during this project and this campaign is that you're going to continue learning for however old, that sounds sad, however old you get. Sorry, but you know what I mean? As the older you get, you're still going to learn. You're still going to learn and take on things as you go. Like, so when I first promoted this mixtape, I had like 16-year-olds be like, oh, I'm still learning. Then I had like 20-year-olds and I had like 50-year-olds. And I've learned that, like, although I seem right now like I know all the answers, give me a month, okay? And I'll be like, oh, back to square one. But I think that's sort of like the beautiful thing about life is that you're never going to really know everything. And that's, sort of what I've learned. That I'm not going to learn. I'm going to still be learning forever. The outplates will forever beyond me. Here I am.
This is so philosophical. It's not the way that I thought we'd be going after some of the first few singles from this one. But yeah, no, I 100% get it. And if you get the record, then you'll have the thank you message that is in there, which explains actually some of that as well. Also, Neil has a follow-up question, which is a bit cheeky, but I've seen it, so I'll let it slide. He goes, on the theme of what to expect, I'm taking my daughter to your show in Leeds next Tuesday. What can we expect? We cannot wait.
Chaos, energy, fun, tears, dancing, shouting, screaming, laughing, everything, all the emotions. I'm going to really go through it every single night. I feel like I've got a lot of like built up energy that I'm just going to unleash on stage every single night. So it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be at a Caity Baser show. It wasn't an official, I think, what was it? It was War Child. So it was, I don't know, it was a really fun sort of like showcase one. But I know how your fans are for you.
Crazy girls.
What's your relationship like with your listeners?
It's very close. Like I feel like the way that I am on social media is like how I am in real life. It's like very open. It's very like, come talk to me if you've got an issue, or like sort of like a big sister vibe. And that's sort of, I love that, you know, because I've never been a big sister. I've always been the youngest sister, and it's driven me insane. But now I'm like, here I am, all seeing, all knowing Caity Baser. like I know everything. But I say, like, I'm in group chats with loads of my fans, and I've got the broadcast channel on Instagram. I talk to them like all the time. I update them before I tell everybody else what I'm doing. Love.
Oh, that is honestly, that is so nice. Well, hopefully some of them will get some questions about the record to us in a bit, but I've got my questions first. So, yeah, your first body of work that's on vinyl, how does that feel for you? Because I know a lot of the time for artists, it's quite a special moment.
It is special because my whole life I've always hung up vinyls on my wall, or like in my bathroom, like my whole, like since I've been a kid, every single room that I've been able to claim as mine has been like covered in music fun. So the fact that I now have my own vinyl, and it's a red vinyl, and the look of it's so nice.
So I'm going to try and really gently like show everyone.
Like
It even smells so new.
Like, wow, look at her. She's beautiful.
So shiny.
I'm obsessed with her. And I just think when I was a kid, I used to hang up CDs and vinyls and be like, wow, that's so cool. And now it's mine that I can hang up. It's so satisfying. So yeah, it's really cool for me.
Was it always in the plans for it to be red? I imagine that's like quite a big decision
like,
too.
The whole theme is like red and white and black. So I was either going to go with a white vinyl because that's kind of different, or a red vinyl, but I'm really in with the reds, like with the nails, with everything. I'm into reds, so I just thought keep it on brand. And also the elf, I think, just makes sense, right? Love.
Of course. How was the shoot for this? Was it I imagine it was quite fun.
It was really, really fun. I had a few outfit changes and a few different ideas for the campaign. But this is what we went with, because the original idea was like L plates from the car and make it all into a dress, which is obviously what we had, like a casual vibe and like a really extravagant one where I'm looking really like and confident. But the whole message of this is that I'm still learning and I don't really know what I'm doing. So this is the one that we went with. Then this is like a mistake picture because I was just sort of looking around.
But those are always the ones, aren't they? And you're like, actually,
that's great. Love.
Oh, I love it. I love all the, like, even the earrings, everything from the makeup to the earrings. Just, yeah, big fan. And the dress, do you still have the dress? Do you get to keep that?
I still have the dress, and I have another dress that's like a ball gown, like elf plate all over. It's delightful.
Oh, amazing. Who designs that? Do you like ask someone, or?
So my beautiful stylist, Lucy Bonner, she sort of is the same as me, a bit insane in the brain and loves to just, like, we sort of spitball all night long, and then she's like, I know who to call, and then she calls the designers with the design, and then everybody just,
Obviously, shout out the designer, underrated.
We love.
And where did this album begin? Like, what was the first track on the album? Did you know that this was a record mixtape? Did you know that this was gonna form part of a bigger body of work? Were you always working towards that?
I mean, no, like last year I was non-stop all summer, like with festivals, and I didn't really have time for sessions. And when I did, it was just sort of as like an expression of what I was going through. Like I wasn't really thinking about like, oh, I'm going to go into the session and make a song like this because it will make sense for the mixtape. And then after festival season, I sort of sat down with my team and they're like, right, so what do all these songs mean, Caity? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I've not been like thinking for the past like 6 months. I've just been go sing, sleep, and that's the best by the way. I love doing that, but like I had no idea what these songs meant and why I should put them together, and then that sort of became the whole message of the whole project. Like I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what these songs mean, and then in the like process of putting them all together and promoting it, I was like, oh, learning, get it.
It's so mad how it like manages to fall into place, because I was listening and I was like, you know what? Obviously, there's a lot of learning in it. There's a lot of like mistake making, or not even like necessarily mistakes, but experiences. And I kind of, my note on it was like, it feels like there's this really positive spin on women owning their own actions. And you've got like Pretty Boys and Why Can't I Have Two as prime examples of this. But I feel like that wasn't conscious. I feel like it's like you just having your experiences out there, right?
Exactly. And like all of my songs are about things that I've gone through, or like things that my friends have come to me and been like, Caity, I've done something awful. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Because to me, I see like every experience a good one, because you're going to take on something from that experience. So like I've gone through some awful shit, like, and I've like, it's been bad, and then it's just like the way that you get through that is like almost taking it on the chin and applying it to what you'll do next, so that it never happens again, even though it probably will happen again. It's fine. But like, it's all just a process.
That's the plot. That one's the plot.
That's the plot. But I think it's sort of like owning it, and also just like laughing about it at the same time, because like, you know, when you go through something and at the time you're like, oh my god, this is awful and it's going to be awful forever, and then 2 weeks later you're like, oh,
laughing about it with your mates.
Yeah, like now it's a funny story. Like that's what the plot's for. It's like one day this will all be funny, and like most of the time it is funny. So just live and learn and be silly.
I actually did have a question about like sort of your writing process, like because you have all these experiences in there which are so relatable, and obviously you've just mentioned about like chatting to your friends, but do you have like in your notes like loads of different things being like, yeah, actually that one could go in a song, or are they like brainstorming sessions with your pals? Like how do you like draw these?
Most of the time I have this list on my phone, on my notes app, called song titles and concepts. And whenever somebody says something, like I could be walking down the street and I could like overhear a conversation from somebody, and I'll go, oh my god, that's such a sick like title for a song, or that's such a sick idea for a song, and I'll put it down. But most of the time it is just me being like, here's what I've gone through, and here's me summing up in 2 words, and then I'll go into a session and be like, oh yeah, this happened, guys, let's make a song about it. But it's just easy breezy. It's so fun.
Yeah, I have to ask, like, have you had to deal with any upset boys in the comments about your lyrics?
Yeah. Yes. Quite a few times actually. I feel like the way that I write is just a bit too specific. Are you talking about like people that their songs are about, finding out that it's about them, or like just
potentially? Actually, yeah. Is that a thing as well?
Okay, so I've had both. I feel like the only hate comments I ever get are from boys, or like really, really, really old men. And I just think like, firstly, ew. Secondly, like, do you not have anything better to do than shit 21-year-old who's just like out here having a giggle? Like, what are you doing, Peter, in your mum's basement on my things? Like, stop.
I literally have, like got a little like brackets being like, did you send the link to I love making bad boys cry? I mean, you could interchange the bad part.
Yeah, like I should comment now saying thanks for your attention, kiss. Like, thank you. But I also have had people like realize that the songs are about them and then not be very happy about that, and I'm just like, well, it's my job.
Content, you know, be flattered. This one's inspired by you.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. Has there been a surprising fan favorite since the drop? Like one that's just got a bit more like love than you potentially expected?
From this mixtape?
Yeah.
I feel like Showgirl.
It's catchy.
I made that for my best friend because she broke up with her boyfriend, who was an absolute tool, and I was like, thank God, like, well done. But then she did the like, you know, they've been together for ages, and you know, when you leave somebody and you're like, oh, I want to go back because that's all I know, and that's what she was doing, and she was in a big like pit of sadness, and I was like, right, I'm going to leave you there for a week, and then I'm coming round and I'm going to sort you out. And she was like, no, I don't want it. And then I came over, and then we got dressed up, we went out, had the best night ever, and then she was like, what am I worried about? And I was like, exactly. Like, honestly, when you're going through something shit, like a boyfriend or any situation, surround yourself with people that just want to make you feel incredible, and you will be fine. So that's what that song's about. But I love that people are enjoying that because it's for my best friend, and she loves that one too.
Honestly, I feel like you're just dropping like facts that people need to. This is therapy. This is therapy in a mixtape.
I feel like it's sometimes what people don't want to hear as well. Like, I know so many people that say, oh yeah, it's fine, just go back. Whereas I'm like, don't. Like, you're an idiot if you do that. Thing. Do that. Oh yeah, weird.
Is there a tune that you're most proud of? Obviously, that one's a big one. But is there a tune that you're most proud of on this album?
I feel like Oh Well is my favorite one because it's actually a really sad song. It's about towards the end of summer when I was coming to this sort of like, what is this project? What am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. At that time, everything was going wrong. Like, I was falling out with my friends. I was falling out with my family. I was just in a really weird headspace, and I wasn't really myself. I was sort of a bitch, you know. I was just like, much. And then I made this song about like losing everything, and then being like, do you know what? It's fine. It's totally cool. Like, people come and go. And if it's my fault, I'll try to resolve it. And if I can't resolve it, oh well. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's sort of what it's about. It's like a nice warm hug to be like, things happen, but like I said earlier, 2 weeks later, it will literally not matter anymore. And that is exactly what happened. That's my favourite.
Also, we've looked at, like, obviously we know your live shows are super exciting. You said chaos. I mean, I feel like it's like you're in the thick of it. So there's that. And obviously the writing as well. It seems like you kind of take from experiences. That all seems quite fun too. But what about in the studio? Like recording, is that a long process for you? Do you enjoy it? Is that something that's like a big part of your process as an artist too?
I mean, I love the studio. It's like the one place I can go when like nobody judges you. You can say what you like, as fucked up as it is, or as normal as it is. You can just be whatever you want to be, say whatever you want. And sometimes that it will take like an hour. Sometimes it will take a week. Sometimes it will take 20 minutes. Like some of the best songs on the mixtape, literally, I wrote in like, oh well, I wrote it in 20 minutes. And the same with like Pretty Boys, 20 minutes, Friendly Sex, 20 minutes, X and Y, 20 minutes, like all the ones that are just like, it's like, yes, because I was just like not even thinking about it. I feel like I put so much pressure on myself to like make a hit, but how do you make a hit? You know what I mean? So I've just sort of stopped doing that, and on the sessions that I go in with an open mind and just lots of feelings, it just happens the best way.
What about studio snacks as well?
I don't really have studio snacks, you know. I just order a meal.
Fair.
At like 4, I come in with a Lucasade, and some water, and that's actually it. And then I will just order like a Wagamama's or some sort of sushi number.
Oh, amazing. Well, literally, I'm listening to you, and like artists always say this, they're like the songs that like just come out like within 20 minutes or are done in 20 minutes are the one are like the ones I could only dream of being so productive. Yeah, I literally like I don't know, actually get how artists do it. Right, so people are sending in their questions to us, obviously, about the mixtape. So hello to Sophie on National Album Days Facebook page, saying which track took the longest to write.
Which track took the longest to write? Let me look at the track list. Hang on.
Yeah.
Because I'm just here with my records. Hang on. Which one took the longest? I mean, all of them were pretty quick, you know. I feel like Bicker. Yeah, I feel like Bicker because
Number 9.
I was really trying to be careful with the way that I was wording it because I didn't want to sound like, because of the person that it was about, they knew that it was about them. I didn't want to give them the credit to be like, oh, I like it when we do this. So I was just trying to be like back and forth. And I was writing with a boy, and I was like, well, what would you say? And how would you say it? And what does that mean? So it didn't necessarily take ages to write because of just like the words. It was just like the sort of conversations we were having in between. But I'd say Bicker, yeah.
Was there a track actually on the mixtape that almost didn't make it?
I don't think so. I think it was all very like, this is my favorite one.
This is it.
I think, yeah, no, it was just like it all made sense.
And we have Sarah on Record Store Days Twitter saying, what is your musical inspiration? Is there an artist or experience which informs your writing?
I have a few. So there's Katy Perry. She was my first ever concert that I went to when I was like 8 years old. My mum took me to the O2, and she was on her like teenage dream tour, like no, prime Katy Perry. And I was sat right at the back. I went dressed as Katy Perry, had a purple wig on, like sparkly onesie. It was incredible. And I remember just thinking, like, how on earth has this tiny lady all the way on that stage over there made like what? How big is the O2? Like 50,000, 80,000?
Yeah, something like that, isn't it?
80,000 people all connected. And I just thought that is amazing. Love Katy Perry.
Have you ever met her, reached out to her, spoken to her?
I mean, I think I've messaged her, but just out of like for the why nots, but I've never actually spoken to her or met her. But when I do, best believe I'm just gonna greet her with a picture of me, 8 years old, dressed like her, and she'll be like, cool.
She'll be like, cool. I love that for you. And you're like, I'm a singer too. No, she will love you, honestly. She definitely will. Patrick on YouTube is asking, who would you most like to collaborate with?
Doja Cat.
Oh, that would be sick.
Like, I think the way that we like write songs and speak, I think it would just be really funny to have like the US version and the UK world sort of collide. It's always been her. I'm obsessed with her as well. I think she's an icon.
Yeah, she's very cool, isn't she? I love how she sort of winds people up as well. Like, just
she's just a big piss taker, which I feel is like what I do as well. Like,
yeah, you guys would be great together. We have Marcus on the Record Club's Twitter who says, which lyric on the album is your most favourite?
I'll be here for you. Because it's a lonely, sad world sometimes. And it's nice to know that there's other people in the world that are there and are going through similar sorts of things to you. So when I made these songs, I genuinely felt like, oh, I'm the only person in the world going through these things. Life is so difficult. And then when I released it, everyone, like, the response has just been amazing. And that song, I'll Be Here For You, is a song for my fans, just to, like, you know, let them know that I love them and stuff. But they all love that one, and it's made me just love that one even more. And I think it's just a really nice message. I'll be here for you.
I remember that one when you played it live. I was like, oh, I love this. And then it just being at the end, I don't know, it was almost like an emotional ending to a good emotional.
Like, not enough people like say to their friends or like to their family, like, oh, like, I love you, or like, I'm here for you. Like, I'm big on that. Like, to everybody that I see, like, even my friends, I can't hang up the phone until I've gone, love you, and they go, love you, and I go, love you. Like, I all on it. And I think just that, yeah, I'll be here for you, and I love you, and whatever you need, like, that's my thing.
Yeah, it's nice that it feels like emotional, but it's nice that it's off like a good vibe. Sometimes you only hear really people saying that they're here for you when something like bad has happened. So
exactly, but it's like, it should be like an everyday thing. Like, I'm here for you, whatever you need. Tell me what you have for lunch. Cool. You. Like, just the little things that, you know, that other people are around you, you know.
We have Amy on the Record Club's Instagram who says you have to form a supergroup with a fellow music newcomer and one musical veteran or legend. Who is in the group?
Venby and Freddie Mercury, done.
Oh,
done.
I don't know why I was not expecting Freddie Mercury at all, but
Freddie Mercury is my icon and my legend.
oh, and you and Venby would be great as well in a supergroup.
I know. Whenever I get asked this question, every single time, I want like a compilation of me just going Venby every single question about that. Who would you form with?
Happening.
I know, girl. Maybe one day.
Just putting it out into the atmosphere, just a little project, like another mixtape. Yeah,
another mixtape. Love.
Couple of 20-minute bangers. Push them out in the studio. You got this.
Love.
We have Marie on the Official Charts Facebook who says, will there be any part 2 or follow-up tracks?
From the mixtape?
I think I'm gonna say yes to that. Maybe a part 2 to the mixtape. Or maybe like follow-up, yeah.
I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Is the answer? I'm not sure.
And yeah, I mean, well, this is the thing. Are you performing tracks that you have yet to record?
What do you mean? Like
in your performances? So sometimes there are unreleased ones that are in your shows that they're like, oh, not done this one yet.
I'm not doing that this time, I don't think. Unless the thing is, last time the only reason I did that is because I was literally on tour and I made that song and I loved it so much that I was like, I've got to fucking play it. It's amazing. So if that happens this time, because when we have downtime, we just make songs and like fuck about. So who knows? Maybe. That's the answer. Maybe.
There we go. Well, what a way to end the questions that have come in. Honestly, Caity, I love chatting to you. Do you have any, because this is the Record Club, do you have any album recommendations for us? Ones that people listening should definitely go listen to?
I'm going to kick it off with SZA, SS. Honestly, That album, every single day for like 6 months, that's all I would listen to every single day. Every single song. I would literally be in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning, making like a choreo. In case you called up, I need you. Go. I'm there. Yeah, that's my favorite. And also another great one is Still Learning by Caity Baser. That's also
of course. Well, there we go. Get your own copy.
Here's a small form of her too.
Head to your local record store. That is all we have time for today. Thank you so much, Caity Baser, for joining us. Obviously, again, remember, make sure to treat yourself to a physical copy. Still Learning, now that this episode is over. Pick one up from your local record store. Also excited to announce the winner of this week's Bowers & Wilkins Wireless Headphones prize is Patrick on the Record Club's YouTube channel. Make sure to slide into the Record Club's DMs. We'll get those headphones to you. Thank you, obviously, everyone for joining us and sending in your questions. All previous episodes and this one will be available to watch back on Spotify or YouTube. Yeah, I'll see you for the next one. Caity Baser, big love. Thank you so much.
Big love back. Thank you so much for talking to me. I loved it.